What I found is that there is very small amounts of competition buying 5 to 50 unit apartment buildings. Most of them are, once again, one-off scenarios. Very few operators are doing what we're doing, which is making a business of buying, renovating, and turning apartment buildings of that size. So it's an opportunity for us to dominate a market. There's actually 4,449 properties in Orange County that fit that acquisition criterion. No reason why we can't actually narrow that niche and then dominate that niche.
You mentioned different market cycles, different asset classes.
Yeah.
We're in an interesting point in our history right now, aren't we?
Yeah, no doubt.
And I saw an email from you guys the other day with the subject line of, "In turbulent times, a distribution is made." I thought that was well positioned and wordsmithed, and it was definitely clickbait for me. I'm like, I got to see what this is. So tell us about that, maybe about that property or about that fund and how that worked out.
You know, Kevin, as an operator of a fund and a manager of a company like this, one of your biggest and best days are when you can write a distribution check to your investors. And we've had 3 of those days so far this quarter.
Wow.
The largest of them was an earlier deal that closed out in March, and it was a 22.5% distribution to the investors.
Wow.
We have a lot of happy people right now.
Yeah.
But in those three distributions, we wrote out announcements and let people know what we were doing, because most people right now are really suffering from not knowing what the heck their investment portfolio is doing. They're not getting distributions, and they're not really even getting good news.
Yeah. So
the reality of it is we're doing really well that way, and we thought we'd let people know. I'm glad you picked that up.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, for the bold, maybe they're seeing the volatility in the market and they're cashing that out, and they're seeing an opportunity to ride some of this volatility. That personally would make me a little nervous. Are most people actually cashing out? Are they reinvesting? Or what do you recommend even in a market like this right now?
Yeah, it's impossible for me to make a recommendation. The audience is too broad with different experiences and needs. But I would say this: the word volatility in the private investment world oftentimes equals bad.
Yep.
And I would offer to you that in an institutional environment, it's not. It's actually a good thing because you can take advantage of volatility if you know how. But one of the things that I really enjoy is being in the real estate space. I don't have this day-to-day market fluctuation thing going on. So our investors are actually quite happy. The biggest risk in real estate is not the real estate. The real risk in real estate is really how you finance the structure of the deal. And so we never do more than 50% loan to value. Go through a time like this and it really pays off. You lose a couple tenants, you lose some income, but you don't lose the asset to the bank. And that secures principal.
I've heard you say before that people generally tend to prefer to have a roof over their head, and I think that impacts the particular, not only the asset class, but the segment of the asset class versus single family homes or something like that. What's the strategy there?
For us, the strategy is when you look at office right now, for example, that's problematic to me. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that realize that's a luxury that they don't necessarily need to afford. When you look at self-storage, on the other hand, that's a great opportunity, a great product to be in. Multifamily is a place where you're right, people prefer to live indoors. And in fact, my attitude is I would like to have every family have a living room. I just think that's right. So when 8 out of 10 Americans live paycheck to paycheck, it's not like you're ever going to run out of people that need to rent. Now the job is, as an operator and a manager, how can we treat them well enough that they are respected and that they want to stay in your residence? And that's what we do.